This weekly program opens the phone lines for you to call in live and share your questions or comments. On this program, we discuss the latest news and opinions of things that may affect the lives of those here in Daytona Beach and the nation. So join Dr. Durham for today's program.
Good afternoon, beloved, and welcome to this edition of Let's Chat America. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. L. Ronald Durham. So delighted to have you here listening to the #1 talk show on a Thursday at 12 noon in the beautiful city of Daytona Beach, Florida. I am live in the studio, and we're broadcasting on Joy 106.3 FM. This is Daytona's favorite gospel station. I hope you're doing well out there. We have some gorgeous weather on the outside today. We're almost hitting 70 degrees right now here in the city, gorgeous, and we see you coming in on our Facebook live feed. We're so happy to see your faces and to know that you're watching as well as listening. Today, we see you, Azia, Lynette, of course, beloved. Good to see you always on the air, on the program with us on Thursday. Love you all so much. Today we're going to have a different call-in number for you. Line 1 is giving us some trouble today, so we're going to give you the line 2 phone number to call. If you want to call in with a question or a comment, pick up the phone and dial those 10 numbers, 386-516-8031. Different number today, 386-516-8031. We're going to get that line, the other line, taken care of, and it'll be working again soon. But for now, call that alternative number, 386-516-8031. That is the live call-in number for today. So happy to have all of you listening, and I know everybody was tuned in on yesterday, historic day in the nation. We had the inauguration of the President of the United States and the first African-American female as Vice President of the United States, the beautiful Kamala Harris. I know all of the sorority sisters are excited in AKA to have their sister as the Vice President of the country. I know they're proud of her, and certainly any of us who attended a historically black college or university, we're in that number of being proud as well. You may know, yours truly, I did my undergraduate work at Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina, historically black college. And of course, my Doctor of Divinity came from Bethune-Cookman University. So black college all the way around. And I'm so proud of our alumni, Vice President Kamala Harris. If you want to call in, give me your thoughts about the inauguration. Was all day yesterday. We see Will on the line as well on the Facebook live feed. Good to see you, Will. The inauguration was all day yesterday, and in the evening, of course, was the virtual concert. And I kind of think that's the way to do the concerts in the future. They have these balls after the inauguration. They may have 10 or 12 balls all over Washington, D.C., and you can't get a ticket to go. But to watch it virtually last night was really exciting to see. All of the artists who performed were in their best voices. All the performers were just outstanding. And then, of course, the fireworks at the end. Deacon Skipper, we see you on the Facebook live feed. Blessings to you. All is well here. Hope all is well with you all up in Jacksonville, Florida. The fireworks, if you saw the fireworks at the end of the program. I mean, it was absolutely spectacular. I don't think there's another firecracker anywhere within 100 miles of Washington, D.C. They lit up everything. It was just the most spectacular event that I've ever witnessed. And I'd love to get your thoughts. The call-in number is 386-516-8031. Different number today. 386-516-8031. That's the live call-in number. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, the first thing we want to talk about is the arrest right here in Volusia County. You know, on January 6th, there was a major insurrection by seditionists who wanted to take the country back to 1861 and the division between the states, the insurrection of the southern states at that time in 1861, because of their opposition to the abolishment of slavery in this country. Several southern states seceded from the Union, and it precipitated what we know is the Civil War. Well, back on January the 6th, after all of the lies that were perpetrated by number 45, as well as his disciples and minions, and the QAnon group as well, and many other white supremacists who all banded together. And, you know, that was the interesting thing about January 6th. Many of these groups that we saw who all came together January 6th at the Capitol, many times these groups never talked to each other in the past. The one thing that number 45 was able to do was he was able to get all of these groups to unite under one common banner. Neo-Nazis, QAnon, KKK, Proud Boys, all of these groups united, and many more, united under the one banner of insurrection. Good afternoon, Cora. We see you on the Facebook Live feed. Beloved Henrietta, we see you as well. Tony, we see you up in New Jersey. All of you on the Facebook Live feed, thank you so much. If you want to give me a call, the live call-in number is 386-516-8031. We have a different number today. Our other line is under some repair, so call us on the other number, 386-516-8031. Leotha, we see you on the Facebook Live feed as well. So on January 6th, all these groups came together under one common banner, and that was insurrection, sedition, wanting to secede from the United States of America because they felt that the free and fair election was somehow it just wasn't legitimate. And Carolyn, we see you on the Facebook Live feed. Blessings to you, beloved. So they all came together under this seditionist, insurrectionist banner in order to literally overthrow the free and fair elections, targeting several states, and you know what states they were. Georgia was number one on their list to target, but also Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona. Those were the states that they particularly were going after. And they were going after Georgia strongly because of the African-American presence, the great job done by Stacey Abrams, to register thousands upon thousands upon thousands of African Americans who not only did they register them, but they got them to the polls and they voted. And that vote is what allowed Reverend Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff, the two individuals who were running for the Senate. That election is what allowed them to be sworn in last night, along with Kamala Harris's replacement from California, all three sworn in by the new African-American female vice president. What an awesome historical moment that was. Carmela, we see you on the Facebook Live feed as well, beloved. What an awesome moment that was to see her swear in these three brand new senators, which gave the Democratic Party the majority now in the Senate, because with Kamala as the president of the Senate, the vice president presides over the Senate when there are ties in the vote, because right now we have a Senate that is 50% Democratic and there are 50 Republicans. It's a 50-50 split. But because the vice president is a Democrat, that now gives blessings, Alberta, beloved. We see you on our Facebook Live feed. Brother Kendrick, we see you in Atlanta as well. It is good to see all of you. Love all of you so much. So now we have, because the president of the Senate is the vice president of the country and is a Democrat, we now have control of the Senate. That takes Mitch McConnell out of power. And somebody ought to be shouting and happy, glad about that. Mitch McConnell, whose nickname over the years has become Moscow Mitch, he is no longer over the Senate, and that gives control to the Democratic Party, which means, here's what it means. It means all of those bills that were passed in the House of Representatives that Mitch McConnell sat on when they were delivered to the Senate, he refused to bring them up. He refused to give them the light of day. And as a result of that, it held back all of the good work that was being done by the House of Representatives and bills that needed to be passed to help the American people. None of those bills came to the floor. So now, because we have the plurality in the Senate, we have a majority in the House of Representatives, we have the President of the United States, all three legislative bodies of this country are now in control of the Democrats, and that's for 2 years. And so what does that mean? That means that in 2 years there will be more elections, because they rotate the senators. They don't allow them all to be voted in a single year. They rotate them, as well as the House of Representatives. So in 2 years, we'll be right back at the ballot box. And we have to remember that if we want to move forward, then we have to keep the party now, the Democratic Party, which has all three branches of government. If we want to continue being progressive and seeing the agenda of Joe Biden successful, then those three branches of government must remain in Democratic control. So the great work that was done by Stacey Abrams in Georgia, we're going to have to do that kind of work all over the country if we're going to maintain control. But, you know, it has been stated for years that if Democrats vote, we win, because the majority of the country is blue, believe it or not, registered blue. The majority of voters in this country are registered blue. We have to increase those numbers, and then we have to make sure we're doing the job that is necessary to get those people to the polls in elections and voting. And voting all the way down the line, not just for major issues like governor or mayor or county persons, voting all the way down the line so that we can keep our progressive agenda moving forward. And that's the only way to do it. So getting back to the January 6th event, the insurrection and sedition event in Washington at the Capitol building, where the Capitol was breached. Hundreds of individuals poured over the barriers, completely ignored the Capitol Police and other law enforcement officials, bombarded their way into the building, smashed windows at the Capitol, looted the Capitol once inside. Well, the feds, the federal government, has been arresting individuals as they've been identified from video and other tips that they're receiving. They have gone about the process of holding accountable the individuals that desecrated the Capitol building. And there was an arrest right here in Volusia County. The feds arrested one of the Proud Boys by the name, and he's not just one of the Proud Boys, he is one of the Proud Boy leaders right here in Volusia County. And his name is Joe Biggs. Joe Biggs was arrested, one of the Proud Boy leaders of unincorporated Volusia County, was arrested yesterday, on Wednesday, on charges related to storming the U.S. Capitol on January the 6th. It was in our local news journal on yesterday. And so on Wednesday afternoon, FBI agents were combing through the home of Joe Biggs, which is on Camino Circle. They were looking through his white Toyota pickup that was parked in the driveway. Now this home, he's listed in unincorporated Volusia County. However, the home on Camino Circle has a zip code that is connected to Ormond Beach, Florida. Now, Ormond Beach is a stone's throw from Daytona Beach. They're right next door to each other. And so what is that saying to us, beloved? One of the leaders of the Proud Boys arrested right next door to Daytona Beach. Really right next door to this studio almost. And so you can bet your bottom dollar, if there's one Proud Boy in Volusia County, there's more. A video that was originally posted on Parler and published Sunday as part of the ProPublica investigative project shows Joe Biggs, one of these Proud Boy leaders, wearing a gray and black checkered jacket and a dark ski cap as he entered into the Capitol building along with a mob of rioters through a broken glass door. A person near the camera that was videoing this event calls out 1776, mother effers, you know what that means, before saying, "Biggs, what do you got to say?" Biggs lowers his face mask, smiles, and says, quote, "This is awesome," end quote. A Department of Justice affidavit cites the video as well as other online photos and videos of Biggs as being part of the forced entry into the Capitol building shortly after now former Republican President number 45 addressed a largely pro-insurrectionist crowd in Washington, at which he inaccurately claimed that he beat Democrat Joe Biden in the 2020 election. He's been in this delusion since November 3rd, and really prior to November 3rd. I think he saw the tea leaves long before the November 3rd election, because he kept alluding to the fact, whenever asked if he lost, would he concede and would he have a peaceful transfer of power? And he never would answer the question. It was always vague. It was always, "We'll see." It's always, we'll have to go through the court system. And Trump also urged those at the rally to go to the Capitol building where Congress was in session. They were in the process of certifying the election results. Joe Biggs, right here in Volusia County, right next door to Daytona Beach, in Ormond, he now faces 3 charges. 1, obstructing, influencing or impeding a proceeding before Congress. 2, entering restricted grounds without authority. And 3, the third charge, is engaging in disorderly and disruptive activity. I'd love to get your thoughts on Joe Biggs being arrested yesterday. Give me a call, pick up the phone, dial those 10 numbers, 386-516-8031. New number for today, 386-516-8031. Asked last week by the News Journal, and this information that I'm sharing with you today came out of the Daytona Beach News Journal. He was asked last week by the News Journal whether he anticipated facing criminal charges for entering the Capitol building. Here's what Biggs said. He said, "F no," before declining to talk further about his activities. He also hung up on a News Journal reporter on Tuesday. The Daily Mail quoted Biggs on Tuesday as saying he entered the Capitol building with only the intention of using the restroom. Biggs told the Daily Mail, quote, this is what he said, "The entire time I was in there, I felt bad. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to touch anything. I didn't want to break anything. I didn't steal anything. There was no ill intent other than I really needed a effing you-know-what. He needed to take an effing you-know-what," end quote. Unbelievable. Biggs said he went to the bathroom, washed his hands, and exited the building according to his interview. So let's examine who are the Proud Boys. Who is this group, the Proud Boys? The Proud Boys have been labeled as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center, as well as others. And if you're not familiar with the Southern Poverty Law Center, one of the major things that they do is they identify hate groups of all stripes, and they publish who those hate groups are, and they monitor their activities. The group became a focal point, the Proud Boys became a focal point at the September 29th presidential debate. Larry, we see you, my cousin in North Carolina, is on the Facebook Live feed. Kristen, we see you as well. And your comment, he busted into the Capitol to use the restroom. Yeah, I know, right? That's hysterical. But this group became a focal point back at the September 29th presidential debate. You remember Trump said at the time, quote, Proud Boys stand back and stand by, end quote. The Proud Boys they're an all-male group. They don't allow women as members, who proclaim themselves as the MAGA. You know what the word MAGA means, Make America Great Again. They proclaim themselves as the MAGA's nation's defenders against what they decry as left-wing protests. That includes protests across the nation in wake of several killings of African Americans at the hands of police this year, and more recently, they were at the Million MAGA March in November and another Washington rally on December the 12th. More than once, the Proud Boys have confronted left and center protesters, including Antifa supporters in cities like Portland, and those incidents have veered into violent street fights. Pastor Yolanda, we see you on the Facebook Live feed, beloved. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Chat America. J Music, we see you on our Facebook Live feed, my good friend and brother. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you as well. The arrest affidavit states Proud Boys had planned to attend the January 6th rally in black, and Antifa is known to wear black. Some estimates put the number of Proud Boys at several thousand. Biggs is one of the least two prominent Proud Boy members who have Volusia County ties. One of at least two prominent Proud Boys who have Volusia County ties. In a statement, Rochelle L. Rojas, special agent in charge of the FBI's Jacksonville office, said the agency respects the rights of people exercising their First Amendment rights. Rojas said in a statement, quote, "But we will not tolerate those who seek to incite violence or wreak havoc on our established institutions. We will continue to hold individuals like Joseph Biggs accountable for the violent actions at the U.S. Capitol and coordinate with our federal, state, and local partners to ensure safety in all North Florida communities in the future," end quote. The FBI thanked the Volusia County Sheriff's Office for their assistance. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood said his detectives assisted in the investigation and that Biggs was arrested by the FBI without incident. Who is Joe Biggs? Biggs is a 37-year-old U.S. Army veteran who also works as a right-wing journalist and commentator. He's also the divorced father of a 3-year-old daughter. He gave the News Journal a 30-minute interview in October after the first presidential debate. He said he joined the Proud Boys in 2016 or 17 after meeting some of them in a bar in Austin, Texas, where he worked for InfoWars, the website that's run by conspiracy theory peddler Alex Jones. You want to hear some off-the-wall crazy nonsense? Alex Jones is certifiable. Biggs said, quote, It's just like when you're in the military, you have a brotherhood, you have a bunch of guys you can depend on that will have your back, and it's kind of nice having that, end quote. The night of Trump's stand back and stand by quote about the Proud Boys during the September 29th presidential debate with Joe Biden, Biggs wrote on Parler, quote, Trump basically said to go F them up. This makes me so happy, end quote. A week later, speaking to the News Journal, Biggs said, quote, I don't know what he meaning Trump, meant by it, but I went with it the way I normally do because I'm a sarcastic guy and I like to have fun and joke, end quote. That's who Joe Biggs is. Arrested yesterday, right here, Volusia County, right next door to Daytona Beach, Ormond Beach zip code, Proud Boy Joe Biggs. Love to have your thoughts. Give me a call. Pick up the phone. Dial those 10 numbers. 386-516-8031. 386-516-8031. Calling in on the alternate number today. We're having some technical issues with the other number. So if you want to give me a call, 386-516-8031. We'll get you in. The line is open. It is 31 minutes past the hour. I'm your host, Dr. L. Ronald Durham, and you're listening to Let's Chat America here on Joy 106.3 FM. I do want to give a shout out to the Port Orange Democratic Club, Carolyn James Sanders. Once again, thanks to you. On this past Monday, I was their guest speaker for the Martin Luther King Jr. I think it was the only live Dr. Martin Luther King event outdoors where there was a march. I think it was the only one, at least on the east side of the county, and I don't think there was a march on the west side of the county either. Proud to have been their speaker. They had a great crowd. I'm guessing somewhere between 50 and 100 people were there. And the great thing about the MLK event on this past Monday was that David Lewis, who is the great-grandnephew of John Lewis. You all know who John Lewis is, Congressman John Lewis, who passed away recently. His great-grandnephew lives here in Volusia County, and he was at the event, amazingly, and led the marchers after I gave my speech and my remarks. He led the marchers across the Dunlawton Bridge. And as you know, John Lewis said, you got to get into good trouble. So that was a great, great event on Monday. And I was proud to be part of that. Give me a call, 386-516-8031. 386-516-8031. Wherever you are, your car, your automobile, your home, so happy that you're tuned in to Let's Chat America. Kristen, we see your comment on our Facebook Live feed. Kristen says it's scary but not surprising. I'm sure there's many more Proud Boys here in these southeastern states than anywhere else. Well, Kristen, you may be correct, but I hope that we can, that law enforcement can get a handle on who these individuals are, and when they break the law, that they will be held accountable. Deacon Gillis, we see you on our Facebook Live feed. Thank you so much, son, for watching us. Yvette, we see Yvette on our Facebook Live feed today as well. all of you watching and listening to the program today just makes me feel good. I mentioned last week, I think we have a caller on the line. Let's try to get our caller in today. Caller, welcome to Let's Chat America. What's your question or your comment?
This is Naomi Payne from Daytona Beach.
Hi.
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to the Daytona Police Department. Job well done on catching the fools and the crooks that they did. And secondly, I just want to say that I'm actually shocked at what went on. I'm actually shocked. I'm very shocked. And I'm shocked to see how close he was in Daytona Beach. Very shocked. Very shocked.
Yeah. It was very.
Racism is very alive still, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Very sad.
It was sad, and that just lets us know that you never know who's around you, and so
exactly
in this climate we just have to be extra careful, because there's a lot of misinformation and incorrect information, and people believe it, and they absorb it, and it leads to, in this case anyway, it led to the violent insurrection that we saw in Washington on January the 6th. Yeah, and so thank you so much for calling. We appreciate you so much.
All right. Thank you.
God bless you. Bye-bye. All right, we want to thank that caller for calling in. I think we have another caller on the line. Let's try and get them. Caller, welcome to Let's Chat America. What's your question or your comment?
Well, first of all, blessings on you, Ronnie.
Hey.
This is Tony.
All right. Hi, Tony.
Okay. I'm really just as shocked at the representatives who had to vote after that incident, having the gall to continue to spread that misbelief and that lie.
Yeah.
You know, in the name of what they felt was their constitutional rights. You're talking about sedition.
Right.
You're talking about betraying the country.
Yep.
You're failing the oath. You put your hand on the Bible to uphold. And now we have a feeling of, well, we have to unify. And I'm all for that. But in order to forgive, you have to repent or redeem yourself. You can't leapfrog directly to forgiveness.
Yeah.
And that's what.
Yeah. And you know, that's where we have to be careful, Tony, because what those who were opposing everything that the Democratic Party was trying to accomplish, and being obstructionists for everything that they could, and buying into all of the actual lies that were being told by number 45, now all of a sudden they want to turn the page. They want kumbaya, all of us hold hands together. Let's forget, you know, right. Let's forget everything that we said and did in the past in these last 4 years, all the stuff that we contributed and helped him to perpetuate that were outright false. We want to forget all that, and now we want to work together, and we want to do the right thing. Well, you know, all of the stuff that they assisted him in getting people to believe is what led up to the insurrection and sedition on January 6th. And somebody has to be held. Yeah, somebody has to be held for that. We can't just let that go, because the next time it'll be worse unless there's an example set by the leaders now being held accountable. So you're absolutely right, Tony, and I agree with you 100%.
God bless you, and have a great day.
Thank you, Tony. Take care. Say hello to everybody up north for me.
I sure will.
All right. God bless you. Bye-bye. All right, Let's Chat America. We are all over the country. That was New Jersey on the line. And we hope that if you'd like to give us a call, you can pick up the phone, dial those 10 numbers, and we can get your call in. 386-516-8031. We have a caller on line number, let me see if I can. Caller, we're having problems with this line. I know you can hear me, but my listeners can't hear you. Can you call me on the other number that I gave?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Call me on 8031.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, thanks. All right. That's the number for today is 386-516-8031. Our other number's having some technical issues today. So call us on 386-516-8031. It's pretty close to the old number. So I know some people have that old number in their phone on speed dial, but call us on the alternative number for today until we can get that line straightened out later today. All right, let's see if we can bring them in. All right, caller, welcome to Let's Chat America. We got you, I think. Welcome to Let's Chat America. What's your question or your comment?
I have a comment. Hi. You know what? I'm not shocked, because one day we were going up to Steak and Shake right there in International. It was a Saturday. I'll never forget it. And there was a big Make America Great Again rally. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I see so much hate group that day. I thought I was back in the Ku Klux Klan days. I mean, I was in shock. And they were screaming, saying all kind of stuff. It was a bunch of rednecks, human language, and they were just screaming, "Make America Great Again! Make America Great Again!" And Steak and Shake called the police and ran it from there. I thought I was back in the. I had a flashback. I thought I was in the Ku Klux Klan. I was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna kill us!" You know, it was bad. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And it was a bunch of it was young, and a bunch of older grandmas. White lady was there. I couldn't believe it. There was these big trucks with big flags, and I was like, "Oh my God, is this happening in Daytona Beach?" I couldn't believe it. So I told my daughter, "Hey, we better get out of here, honey," because we didn't know what it was. But I had a flashback. I thought it was back in the 40s or 50s. And we prayed, and we said, we got to get out of here.
I know what you mean. And I really want to tell everybody to be careful, because you know, they're all around, and they bought into the whole lie of, you know, the election was stolen, and you know, it's all about them grieving over what they think has been taken from them. They feel as though things have been taken from them, and nothing has been taken from them at all. But they're just so wrapped up.
Brainwashed.
Yeah, they're wrapped up in this conspiracy and in this lie that has been told for 4 years. So
told to them. Yes.
Thank you, beloved. I'm so yes, ma'am.
One more comment. Also, they had the nerve to ask us if we were one of Trump's voters.
Oh, really?
I said no. I'm not voting for Trump. You're one of smoke me out today, go ahead. But we're not voting for Trump. We'll never vote for Trump.
All right.
And we,
Okay.
and we took off.
I don't blame you.
God has spoken. The people voted. Now let the church say amen.
Amen. Amen. That's
Amen.
right. All right.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Mother. We
Bye-bye.
appreciate you so much. God bless you.
Okay.
Bye.
And to you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you for that call. We appreciate it so much. Yeah, you know, these little pop-up rallies, hopefully we've seen the last of them now that 45 is back in Florida. Kristen, we saw your comment that he's back in Florida, and that is one of the sad things, that he's here. We know that we just have to keep our eyes open, be vigilant, be watching everything around us. Leah, we see you on the Facebook Live feed. Thank you so much for being with us today. I think we had a caller that could not get in because I had a caller on the line. So give us a call back, 386-516-8031. 386-516-8031. Lynette, you're so right. We have to stay woke, because these people out here are just, many of them are unfortunately buying in. They're drinking the Kool-Aid. They believe all of these conspiracies. And I mentioned the name Alex Jones earlier. He is just at the top of the list of conspiracies. And somebody that number 45 was listening to very closely. He, 45 he buys into all of this nonsense. And even the My Pillow guy was at the White House toward the end of 45's term. The last day or two, the My Pillow guy was at the White House, trying to come up with other ways that he felt that Trump could take the election, steal the election from Joe Biden. Just amazing the lengths that some of these individuals were trying to go to in order to overturn free and fair elections. And the bottom line, beloved, the bottom line. Well, we got a caller. Let's see if we can get the caller in. Welcome to Let's Chat America. What's your question or your comment?
Hi, good morning. I'm calling in to talk about the arrest of this white supremacist down here in Daytona Beach. I'm from the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm calling in. I'd like to have a question and a comment. My question is, why are we allowing this to keep going on? Our law enforcement is some of the best in the world. We need to round up these knuckleheads and put them behind bars, because they are against democracy. They're against America that is truly supposed to be a free country for everybody. They want to have a white race that's superior to every other race of people, and that's not what America is about. So my prayer and my comment today is I'm calling for all elected officials, all people with good conscience, to stand up and say enough is enough. We don't want this foolishness anymore. We've got Donald Trump out of office. Now we have a new president and a new vice president in office that's doing the right for the country. Now we need to start running up these other methods and stop putting around with it. Stop playing around with it. We need to be able to fully go after these people and punish them for what they did in the riots in Washington. That's against democracy. That is treason, punishable by law on state and federal level. It's imprisonment and or death. So we have a judicial process that's lawful. Let them run them up, put them on trial, and let the guilty be locked up and put away. That's my comment today. And we don't need to stand for this foolishness anymore. America is a great country. We're one of the greatest countries in the world. We have a lot of opportunities here. Those that don't want it, get out and go make your own country and let us live in peace. We want peace in this nation, and we want to have it, because we want to keep pressing our political leaders to run these racist, anti-American, anti-democratic people up and put them away. because they don't need to be here. They don't need to be here at all. And that's my comment today. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you so much. We appreciate your call.
Okay.
Call from Atlanta. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye. All right, there you have it. Atlanta, Georgia in the house, calling about the Proud Boy, Joe Biggs, arrested right here in Volusia County, right next door to Daytona Beach, Ormond Beach zip code. One of the leaders of the Proud Boys was at the January 6th break-in into the Capitol building by these rioters and thugs. And right here in our backyard. It is 50 minutes past the hour. You can still get your comment in if you want to comment on the Proud Boy that was arrested on yesterday, or if you want to talk about the inauguration. It was a great inauguration, the concert last night virtually, all of the great artists that performed, just awesome. And the fireworks were out of this world, literally just beautiful to behold. 386-516-8031. 386-516-8031. Now, let's go back to January 6th for a minute, because all over the news was the police officer, African-American police officer by the name of Eugene Goodman. I don't know how many of you witnessed what he did as he all by himself, climbing up the stairs backwards. He finally was able to pick up one of the batons as the thugs and rioters were coming up the stairs into the Capitol building. And he was able to lead them literally away from where Mike Pence was. He knew exactly where Mike Pence was located. And he recognized that these rioters and thugs were looking for Pence. They were looking for Pence. They were looking for Nancy Pelosi. And who knows what they would have done had they found them. I mean, they erected a gallows right behind the Capitol, or adjacent to the Capitol. They erected a gallows with a noose, and they were going to hang somebody. They literally were going to hang somebody if they had gotten themselves a hold of Mike Pence, because they were furious with Pence because he would not do what number 45 told him to do, and that is steal the election from Joe Biden. Pence wouldn't do it. He finally grew some backbone and told Trump, I'm not doing that. The Constitution does not allow me to do that. My job as vice president is simply to count the votes that have been certified in the states, all 50 states, and they've already been certified. They've already been approved by the legislatures of those states. It's a done deal. Eugene Goodman, the African-American Capitol Police officer, led these people away from where Pence was, and actually he led them to a room that when they opened the door, behind the door, there were a bunch of other Capitol Police officers who began arresting these rioters and looters. So Eugene Goodman, Officer Eugene Goodman, on yesterday, during the inauguration, this police officer who fended off these rioters on January the 6th found himself in a much different position. He was the one who escorted incoming Vice President Kamala Harris to the inauguration ceremony. Can you imagine that? Unbelievable. He met Harris and President Biden upon their arrival at the east front of the Capitol building, and moments into the ceremony, he was introduced before Harris and her husband, Doug Emhoff, entered the inauguration stage on the west front. Officer Goodman, a 101st Airborne veteran who was deployed twice in Iraq, escorted Vice President Harris as part of his new role as acting Deputy Senate Sergeant at Arms. Can you imagine now he's been promoted to acting Deputy Senate Sergeant at Arms? Social media responded at the moment with great enthusiasm. Goodman rose to national prominence, as you know, because of what he did, and he led that mob away from the Senate chamber. And in so doing, the officer gave lawmakers time to get out and to secure themselves into other locations. And there is no doubt that Officer Eugene Goodman saved the lives of senators and congresspeople. Thus far, Goodman has not spoken publicly about those events of January 6th, but still his actions have earned him widespread praise across the country. He's now being considered, now get this, Eugene Goodman, the officer, is now being considered for a Congressional Gold Medal, which is the highest civilian award that Congress can bestow. And previous recipients of the Congressional Gold Medal are Rosa Parks and Nelson Mandela. Awesome. Eugene Goodman, he is my hero. He is my hero. Leah, we see your comment. Lynette, amen. We see your comment. Kristen, thank you. We see your comment. Dr. Boise Kimber, we see you on our Facebook Live feed watching, excuse me, the program today, and we're so honored to have you as one of our listeners. It is 57 minutes past the hour. You've been listening to Let's Chat America right here on Joy 106.3 FM. I am your host, Dr. L. Ronald Durham. As I mentioned last week, there is now a YouTube channel called Let's Chat America. And we want everybody to go to our YouTube channel. Just Google, go to YouTube. When you're in YouTube, then in the search box, just type Let's Chat America, and it'll bring you to our special brand new YouTube channel. And what we're going to be doing is every week we're going to be taking the Facebook Live feed from our broadcast, putting it on the YouTube channel. And the first thing we want you to do is like the Let's Chat America YouTube channel. First, like it. You know how you do that. Just like you like a Facebook page, you can like a YouTube channel. We want you to like our channel and then share it with your social media friends and contacts so that they can visit our YouTube channel. They can listen to broadcasts from Let's Chat America. Alberta is a subscriber. There you go, Bert. Teach him what to do. Alberta is a subscriber of the Let's Chat America YouTube channel. So that's what we want you to do. We want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every time we put up a new video for YouTube, you'll be able to get it. Let's Chat America. We want to blow up the nation with the #1 talk show in Daytona Beach on Thursday from 12 to 1 o'clock. It's 59 minutes past the hour. I didn't get to everything I wanted to get to. I need 2 hours to be on the air. So we're going to work on that. We'll see if we can get that happening. But thank you for listening. We love everybody. Share this radio station with your friends and family. And please share our radio broadcast. Have people tuning in We just love it. And we hope to bring you continued news every week. We've got guests that will be coming on. We'll be talking about things here on the program as well. Stay safe. All the guidelines. Wash your hands regularly. Hot water with soap. Put on your mask when you're going outdoors. Social distance. 6 feet at least away from others. If you can sign up to get the vaccine, please, brothers and sisters, beloved, get the vaccine as soon as it is available to you, so that we can end the COVID-19 pandemic, get back to doing the kinds of things we like to do. We want to get back in church in big numbers, inside the building, and doing all the stuff that we like to do. And we're going to have to, I know there's some of us don't want to take the vaccine. We're talking about whether it's safe or not. It is safe. It is safe. We've had experts on this program to tell us it is safe. So let's do it. Let's do what we have to do, and end this thing as quickly as we can. Love you. Lord willing, we'll be right back here next Thursday at 12 noon for another edition of Let's Chat America. God bless you. See you next time.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program here on Let's Chat America, broadcast from the world's most famous beach. To request Dr. Durham to speak at your event, please call 386-451-5114. Again, that's 386-451-5114. Tune in next Thursday, 12 noon, for another powerful program hour here on Joy 106.3 FM.
WAIGLP, Daytona Beach, Joy